Welcome to Beyond FS's Financial Crime and Payments Summer Series. Today's topic that we'll be talking about is all around financial crime tech infrastructure suitability, and specifically we're going to be exploring the question of whether financial crime tech infrastructure is keeping pace or actually whether it's hindering business growth and actually enabling financial crime to persist. So I guess the first topic to dive straight into is around the financial crime tech infrastructure challenges that we're seeing in the market. Matt, I wondered if you could talk to some of the issues and challenges that we're seeing, and particularly those that are most critical to scale up electronic money institutions and payment institutions.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's not unusual for us to see tools that were built in the infancy of those organisations, and they've maybe been built as a tactical tool or a tactical fix, essentially, at the time. Those companies now have evolved. They've got new products. They're in new markets. They've potentially even got a new strategy, and they've tried to make those tools do slightly different things, and that's where complexity really gets added in. I think there's a real value in terms of looking out to the wider market and looking at some of the options that are available.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a good time to pause and think about the vendor landscape as well. We've seen a rise in much more sophisticated, much more mature tech solutions in the last couple of years, which is fantastic because it provides a lot of good choice, but it also makes your life a little bit difficult if you're a financial crime professional operating in this space in terms of choosing the right solution for your use case. There's also the piece around thinking about AI and the integration of that within technological solutions. We'll be touching on that in a bit more detail in another video, so we won't probe too far on that course today, but certainly worth considering if you're a financial crime professional in this space thinking about your tech. Also, I guess thinking about the external landscape, are you able to talk a little bit about what we're seeing from a regulatory trajectory standpoint?
Absolutely. It's really quite consistently, the regulator really expects these firms to understand their business really well, and then critically the controls that are required in that business. And where those controls are in place with some complexity because of legacy systems that are in place, that can cause nervousness with regulators and can lead to further questions being asked. All of that is being done at the same time where the business is typically asking for more productivity, more efficiency, use of new functionality and adopting some of those new technologies, all while being balanced in a control environment that needs to be very clearly explainable. So a number of challenges we see within that space, and that is where getting that external advice and people who've worked in that space for some time is really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think some of the challenges that you've alluded to just now really resonate from my perspective with the work I do. I guess to touch on a couple in a bit more detail, main ones include things like vendor selection, kind of leaning into some of the challenges that I already mentioned earlier. We help a lot of clients with that. The second one is all about communicating that value of tech solutions to senior management, to board level stakeholders. We're not talking about cheap solutions here and quick wins. We're often talking about strategic programs that require a lot of planning, a lot of thought, and a lot of buy-in to execute right. And the third item from my perspective where we're seeing a real uptick in support required from clients is in actually implementing the solution itself. When you've chosen your vendor, there's a huge effort that's required in terms of understanding your business requirements, doing the actual implementation and usually a cutover from a previous system, and then also making sure that new system is optimized, is calibrated and continues to be iteratively enhanced so that it brings effectiveness, not just from a tech process perspective, but also in your wider financial crime operating model. If any of the challenges or the discussion points that we've talked to today resonate with you in particular, or anything broader in the financial crime world, please don't hesitate to get in contact. We'd love to hear from you, and thank you so much for the time.